If I said that Skywars was objectively one of Hive's best games of all time, I think I could end the video here because most, if not all, people would be satisfied. But, out of my love and appreciation for this game, and I'm sure out of yours, let's have a conversation about it. Let's talk about why Skywars is, in fact, objectively one of the best games on the Hive. Interesting fact for you guys. Not only is Skywars over 4 years old, but it actually is a month older than 1.16. And that fact alone really dates the game. And yet, despite its age, it's still one of the most played games on the Hive. So what's going on exactly? In short, there is one specific general reason why Skywars on the Hive is so popular. At least, this is what I'm led to believe. Vanilla Skywars is the Skywars. This is the type of Skywars you think of when I say the name. Vanilla Skywars is basically taking games like Survival or Hunger Games, whichever you call it, and putting it in the sky. This type of setup allows emphasis on building, so it's a little bit different to survival games, but the idea is that, yes, you go around and you loot up and you fight. That is Vanilla Skywars. Now, this version of Skywars has been around for years. I'm talking at least 10 years ago is when Skywars really began getting popular. So rightfully so, making a more classic take on Skywars is a good idea. Except with a game that's been around for so long, even though it's widely popular, even though a lot of people like it, it's the same thing over and over with games like these, and unfortunately that leads to it becoming stale and repetitive. That's not to say it didn't deserve fame or love, because both those things it rightfully earned. It was a revolutionary game that changed PvP as a whole, and so in that regard, I appreciate it dearly. To move the conversation to Hive, when Hive created Skywars, they very easily could have taken a model of this sort of game and just replicated it, much like many other servers have done for years prior to. But Hive decided to add a unique touch to it. This is Hive Skywars. Everything that you loved about Vanilla Skywars is still here. At the end of the day, it is still survival games in the sky, but with some added twists to it. Each ore available to the player in Skywars will benefit them in different ways. Mining iron will provide the player with very average and general types of gear. Chain armor, iron swords, arrows, things like that. Gold is a game of roulette. Sometimes it'll be your best friend and cause hell for others, or be your worst enemy and cause hell for just you. Sometimes it'll send you off the side of the map, or give you a diamond sword. Diamond ore will give you only diamond items, that being a sword or any kind of armor. Emerald is in charge of giving you enchanted gear. Lapis will provide you with unfavorable odds to getting spells that could make or break the game, depending on how lucky you are. And lastly, but certainly not least, Redstone will give you an additional pool of health, totaling up to 5 extra hearts of damage you can take. It may be a small extra layer of gameplay, but the difference here is it's more than just who has the higher CPS and the less ping. Now there's an element of strategy here. It's a much bigger emphasis than what it was in the vanilla version of Skywars. Again, it's a small change that doesn't necessarily revamp the entirety of the gameplay, but it doesn't necessarily have to either. Take the mystery chest, for example. That's not a thing that was in other versions of Skywars, but the Hive decided to introduce it. Why would they do that, you may ask? Well, it was likely to incentivize players from camping out at their base and instead heading towards the middle to get their hands on the best gear. Hive Skywars is by no means a huge revolution to Skywars. It doesn't necessarily shake the bounds of reality or anything like that, but what it does guarantee is the respect and appreciation for what Skywars used to be, and the fact that it's made it feel more modern, respecting the past, but embracing the future. That's what I would use to describe Hive's version of Skywars. Of course, it may not be your cup of tea, and if it isn't, I totally respect that, but it's important to note that being unique and taking a beloved formula and just changing it up to revitalize some love for it is definitely something I and most other people can encourage that servers do going forward. In respect to this version of Skywars, thank you for a great first 4 years. Here's to another 4 in the near future. Thanks for bringing this game to life, Hive.